I want to talk about what I feel a lot of young people are getting misunderstood about being famous, being rich, getting money, and basically doing what you set out to do in life. A lot of young people, we want to make it. We want to make a lot of money. We want to have a lot of cars, have a lot of, access to funds so that we can live comfortably. Now, when life gets really hard is when you actually make it to there. And as you look at other celebrities, other people that have made it, there's this false perception of what is the way to go. What is the perfect life? Nowadays, you go on social media, you look at people like, say, Dan Blitzerin, whatever his name is, I think I said it right, or Andrew Tate, or any of these men that have made it, that have become super successful, become wealthy, rich, the whole world knows you. They've set a specific example for the young generation. And what they set and shown us is that what you're supposed to do when you make it is party, do drugs, sleep with women, and flash everything you have. Do you ever think, why do all these people who make it and become successful still continue the cycle of living in the toxic, evil-worshipping society areas, LA? Why do they keep doing it? Why do they still live there? Why do they still live that lifestyle? Why do they still party, attend these devil fucking events? All these things you see on social media. Why do they do that? The goal for me, the reason I want to have money and be wealthy and become successful is so that one day I can have kids. And what I can do then is I can leave. I can get away from that. I can get away from the bad stuff in this world that a lot of you don't even care to think about. They don't give us younger people a good example of how you should deal with fame and success. Me personally, I am not having a child until I am fully committed to only sleeping with one woman. Fully committed to giving my all to my children. To where I've already made so much money that I don't need to work 5-6 days a week and miss out on them growing up. To where currently, yes, I like to sleep around, I like to party, I like to be young. I'm 24 years old. It's okay for me to live that lifestyle because I don't have kids. You have Dan Blitzerin, I don't know how old he is, mid-40s. He has 0 children, still acting like a child. Andrew Tate has many, many kids, still being scandalous, sleeping with multiple women, going to parties, putting this persona on the internet that his kids will grow up to see and think it's acceptable. The last thing I would ever want my kids to see is me being promiscuous, me making it normal to sleep with many people. Because whether I have a boy or a girl, they're gonna know what's happening. Just like I knew what was happening when I was younger. My mom did that and I caught on, and it just puts you in a different headspace, and it's just not the right way to go. Once our generation stops idolizing these 40, 50-year-old men who haven't grown up yet and realize that the real beauty in life is to create your own life and teach that child how to live and be successful, that's how we start to have morals again in society. We live in a moralist society, especially America. And that's why it's hard to respect anyone nowadays, because what is being taught, what is being shown on the internet, it's all pollution for your brain. And, being masculine is not going to a club at 30, 40 years old and making out with various women and taking one home while you probably have kids, while your wife or whatever is in a different home with your kids. That is not being masculine. Being masculine is just being peaceful, away from the craziness, and allowing your kids to develop, in a calm place, especially when they're young. You don't want to raise them in a big city. You don't want to raise them in a big house with multiple women coming in and out. That is so bad and damaging for the child. And that's why so many people nowadays, they don't stick to one person, and it's hard to find any value in one person, because everyone is everywhere. I really just wanted to make this video to help you avoid the darkness of being famous when you've made it. People that I've just mentioned, these celebrities, they're not happy. Do you think a 45-year-old, 50-year-old man wants to go out every day and get drunk and do drugs? No. He doesn't have a child to, put him in the right lane, to make him realize what's important. He has nothing. They have nothing. And so what do is they waste their life. They waste what they've created. They've created this huge success story. But what do? They just blow it away with irresponsibility. That's why I truly think the best thing you can do is once you make it, is create a family. They will keep you structured and they'll keep you healthy. The last point I wanted to make is all these promiscuous women you see not respecting their bodies, who they are, and all these men who have no discipline, self-respect, and strive for something great. They are all a byproduct of parents who weren't ready to leave the childish lifestyles behind once they made children, who weren't ready to solely focus on that child and the woman or man they decided to have those children with. That's all it is. That's why we live in this society where it's so hard to find a decent human that really, really is worth mating with. And so as it becomes harder to find that person to mate with, it also becomes harder to make a good society. Always remember, a real success story, someone you should really look up to, is someone who has it all, can get anything he wants, have anything he wants, but is disciplined enough to invest it all in his children and their future. Not sex, drugs, alcohol, parties, fame. All of that is irrelevant once your time in life is up, and no one lives forever.